Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the HG Gundam Astraea Type F. Now, those who know me, I'm not the biggest fan of the 00 series, but I bought this kit for some other reason. Number one, this is mostly for nostalgia values, because I used to play the old-time SD Gundam Capsule Fighter Online a long time ago, and this was one of my main mobile suits I would use in the game. Of course, in the game, it was really pain in the ass to get the Type F, this specific version, because like there was only one way you could get it. Other than that, mainly for that reason, I bought this kit, and this kit came with a ton of stuff that I was not expecting. Other than the weapons, I was expecting the weapons, but the leftover parts, I was kind of shocked. So, this review might be long, not because of explaining the kit itself, but rather showing all the leftover parts or stuff that you get with the kit. So, with that, I might be skipping some really basic stuff, such as like the beam sabers, because the beam sabers, obviously, they're beam sabers. What do you expect? Alright, so let's get on with the review. So first of all, let's talk about the component. Components, of course, is you get the HG Gundam Astraea Type F itself. The kit includes parts to make the Type F2 if you want to do so, because it's pretty much the same base with a few slight minor detail differences. You get two GM pistols and GM pistol holsters, which as you can see on the leg, I will demonstrate the pistols later, but just letting you know you get that. And you get 3 hands in total, 2 multi-purpose hands, which I'm currently using for most of the weapons, so this one does not have one of those trigger fingers that are usually seen in the Universal Sentry kits, and you get 1 open hand for the left arm. And here we have the sticker sheet. Now the sticker sheet may look like a lot, however, depending on what you choose to build, you may use some, and you won't be using some other kits. So as you can see, I went with the Type F. You can tell that by the visor face. Despite that visor face, there's actually a Gundam face behind that, but whatever. So if you I went with the Type F, so that's why I'm not using some stickers like these, and there are also some stickers I was supposed to use, but I decided not to use for personal reasons, but I will talk about that later. So here is the sticker. Here is the beam saber. You get the flat type beam sabers that we usually see in like the age kits, but also here. So basically, I'm not going to demonstrate these. Okay, here's what you're supposed to get. Now, there are some parts that I just want to get rid of as soon as possible. Here we have the action-based connecting hole cover. Here we have, now I'm currently using 1 on each side. If you don't want to have the extra holster on the waist section or on the side of the size, you can cover up with this. So you can see this side of the leg has that, and the other side of the side has this section, which you can use to store in the GN hammer. Yeah, that's what you get. And for the GN hammer, you get this wire cable, but I'm not a big fan of these. So once again, it's a hammer, wired hammer, so you know what to do with these. So to save time, I'm not going to show that part. Alright, so that's the parts I pretty much want to get rid of for now. Here are the regular weapons that you're supposed to get. You get the GN rifle, pretty basic looking. You get the GN missile launcher. Now you have multiple ways to use this. You can either attach it onto the arm itself, or they do give you a handle so you can actually use it like as if it's holding a gun. So just letting you guys know that. You get a shield. This is the Astraea shield. This is not the Exia shields because it has a different slight design. And we get the prototype or proto GN sword. Yes, this is the prototype version. It's actually shorter as well and much more simple looking, which I do prefer. Of course, the way how you connect it to the arm, not so great, but it's the best we can get. So for now, I'm just gonna detach everything so we get to save time. There we go. And then as I mentioned, GN hammer. I really love the fact that they actually did give you clear green pieces for the swords. We get now according to the manual, this is called the NGN bazooka. Now, because I believe this bazooka actually shoots physical rounds, unlike like most weapons that we see in the 00 series, where most of them would be beam weapons. This is actually a physical weapon. Even in the SD Gundam Capsule Fighter, the Type F was actually using this, and this was like a normal bazooka. And we have an extending point here for if you have trouble just holding it on the shoulder, and we have extra handles for each side, so you can hold it with either hand as well, or both hands when you're using it on each shoulder. And we have the GN launcher. Now this is kind of an interesting weapon, which I do have some questions regarding, but I'll talk about this later. But definitely looks like a pretty good weapon. Alright, now that's what we're supposed to get. Now here are the leftover parts. After seeing the leftover parts, I was kind of surprised. So with the basics, let's get rid of the obvious. We get some leftover polycaps, nothing too special. Here's the parts where I didn't cut. We get the shoulder parts of the original Exia, kind of a dark wine red color. And I would just like to mention that you can actually make the Exia kit with this, minus those rubber cable things that we see on the shoulders and certain areas. Here we get two more beam sabers, or GN Saber hilts, and this is the front skirt for the Exia or / Type F2. So if you're using the F2, you'll be probably using this one, I believe. So yeah, these are actually usable ones. And we have those yellow fins that's used by the Exia as well, or Type F2. I believe if you're using Type F2, you have to use these ones, I believe. I could be wrong, but yeah. So yeah, we get some yellow parts leftovers. And once again, if you're building the Exia using this or the Type F2, you'll be using these clear parts, similar to the Exia. Here are the parts where I sort of made. First of all, let's get rid of the yucky ones. Yeah, we get this. I believe the Exia or the first 00 kits, they didn't come with Beam Saber effect parts, so that's why they gave it like this. I'm not sure. I think starting from 00, I mean the season 2 kits, I think they started giving out, but with the clear colors rather than the red ones. But yeah, we get this. Only one for some reason, and we get its more GN swords in red color. Once again, used by the Exia. We get the original Exia's GN Drive backpack. So once again, as mentioned, you are able to make the red Exia if you want to do so. You even get full parts to make the shield as well. What the heck is this? Oh, actually, let's get rid of these small parts. I believe this is for like the cockpit section. This part is for like the crotch area, I believe. And then there we go. We have another cockpit section for. Oh yeah, I'm not sure what, I forgot which one, but one of these, I believe, depending on what you make, I believe you use a different piece for this, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it's the difference between the Type F2 and the Type F is really minor differences. So yeah, here's an extra V fin. If you're making the F2, you're gonna be using this. Of course, if you're building the Type F2, there's 3 stickers that goes on. One is a green sticker that goes on the middle of the V fin, which is quite normal. But the Type F2 actually has yellow tips on its V-fin, so you have to use yellow stickers on this, which I am not a big fan of. So that's why I went with the Type F, because it used less pain in the ass stickers. Okay, here is the. They even give you all the parts to make the full head of the Exia. Of course, you don't get the entire stickers to put on the sides and stuff, but since there are 2 option heads, you are able to. They do give you 2 eye stickers for some reason. So yeah, you are able to make a red Exia head if you're a big fan of those. And we get the shield. We get full parts to make the Exia's shield as well. Of course, I am aware that these parts were supposed to be stickers. They don't give those stickers, but it's good to know we actually get the shield. And we get the Exia's actual his large sword as well. This is they give the full parts. Of course, the color is kind of odd where because the Astraea ones actually comes with a gray one like this. This one comes in like a dark sand brown, or like a gray sand brown color. But it's really good to know that we do get parts like these. This kit did actually give me like some motivation to get another certain 00 kit from the series, and to like use it for a kit bash. Oops. Okay, now let's get on to the kit review finally. That's a lot of parts that I had to talk about, but yeah. I will point out what part is a sticker. Now, this kit, I'm not gonna lie, can be sticker heavy, but not as heavy as like, as the M91, so. Alright, now let's get the head. Now, the main reason I went with the Type F is that, number one, the head has one, other than the stickers. It has a visor face. Now, behind that visor face, there is like a Gundam-ish face behind it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but you can see the eyes inside, which is why I actually like the design of this one. And it's red. I am actually planning to get the Premium Bandai RG version of this. Of course, I am aware that RG version does not give you the weapons as much as the HG. I am aware of that. So the head pretty much is one of the reasons, and you can see the obvious sticker right over here. Unlike the Universal Century where they have back head cameras, there's no sticker for that one here. For the head articulation, pretty basic. It can go down that much, up that much, which isn't too different. And 360 twist, I can't, or you can't, because number one, these fins on the side and the fins on the top of the body are hindering that process. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to break those as well. Now, one thing I personally didn't like about the Exia, I have built an HG Exia before with a different kit. Now, the one part I really don't like is how this part moves. I'm not a big fan of how these parts move. It makes the kit personally feel like more wobbly and such. Oh boy. Well, since this part fell off, yeah, these are the same GN Sabers. Um, so yeah, and another thing that I need to correct is that now in the box or images you see, this section is also glowing green. So this thing should have a extra green sticker in here, but sadly didn't. Somehow they did not include that for some reason. But yeah, I heard the end. I'm not sure how the no grade is, but I don't know. If I get the chance, I'll try the no grade version someday. So yeah, but of course by doing this, this thing does reveal the center part more. So I guess there's a pros and cons to this. But for the shoulder articulation, because of this moving section, it does give out more movements like this. And there's another, well, the way how the arm is connected is just through, is pretty simple. So, and this section is actually connected through a ball joint on the behind. So kind of odd. Of course, the shoulder itself is connected um, with just a normal peg system. And somehow something's going wrong with the arm for some reason. Actually, I think I'll just show you guys. This is going to be a long review. I might as well show you guys. So this is how it works. So this is the main moving point of the shoulder, and then there's a ball joint on the behind, and then you connect this section. There's a hole on the back section here, and you connect that. It's not the best connection, but you get. Yeah, I had trouble connecting this. Once you get in the right position and then put in the arm, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it in the right position. So that's how it is. And also on the shoulder, these brown stickers, yeah, they're kind of brown, are also stickers. There are 4 of them, front and back. And for the cockpit or chest section, this gray section is also a sticker. I say gray, but it's technically more of a sand brown gray, if you get what I mean. This is a pretty old kit, so there's no app crunch going on, but I guess if you want to do so, oops, a 360 twist on the entire body is possible, which I do not suggest too often. Also, here it is, on this section right over here, this is also a light blue or a really light purple sticker. It's kind of hard to tell what color base it is, but it looks like a really, really, really light purple color here. So, and then the same goes onto the sides as well. Okay, so, for the arm articulation, you can go to the side 90 degrees if you want to, and twisting the arm itself 360 is possible. The bend of the arm is only a 90-degree bend, so considering this, well, this is an old kit, and then 360 on the arm itself is also possible as well. And then we have your typical ball jointed hands, and behind the arms also have those stickers as well. And this is this kid, I believe, or this mobile suit was shown or seen not in anime but mostly in manga for the side story series for the Double O. And I believe this GN driver, I'm not sure if this is considered a driver condenser, I forgot, but this is like an earlier generation than the ones we see from the series. Okay, now we've seen the upper part. Now let's look at the waist section. The waist section of the front skirt, once again, they come in one of those separate the single piece ball jointed ones, but if you want to, you can separate them if you want to. Now on this section, you're supposed to put 4 stickers on the front skirt. Now I decided not to use those because those colors kind of looked out of place and they were kind of the annoying stickers. If you're using the Type F2 version, you'll be using the extra Esh ones, and those also require stickers. Alright, so now let's get the legs. The legs do not have one of those side swivels because they're connected as a ball joint here. So you can't go to the side that much, but the legs can go almost 90 degrees depending on how you position them. Of course, the front skirt is kind of blocking them, but if you work your way around, you can go about 90 degrees, and it has a double jointed bend. Pretty good bend. And here is that part where you can actually store the GN hammer if you want to do so. Of course, this kind of would block or hinder. Um, wait, why isn't this working? Oh, I think I'm on. Okay, there we go. Problem is the GN hammer likes to fall off a little bit easily from its hole slash peg system. But I do love the look of this weapon. Okay, the feet are your typical ball joint feet, nothing too special, and I believe this brown section is also a sticker. This section is also a sticker. So this kit does require some stickers a lot. Well, not a lot, but here and there. Okay, now let's look at the equipment. Now, first of all, let's get rid of the obvious. Here is the GN pistols and its holster. They're connected to the leg. You can detach them if you want. Of course, if by detaching them, you might actually detach that part because, once again, well, there's a better example. But mine is kind of stiff. But if you're using or building the F2 or F, you'll be covering up these parts. Once again, if you're building the F2, you'll be using clear parts. Hence, these won't be able to attach onto the leg. So the way how this works is that if this is like on the leg, you open it up. Well, that was wrong, but technically it's supposed to be holded like this. When you open it up, it's in there, so you pull it out and you have the GN pistols, and once again you get two of them, and there's a green sticker on there. You just need to plug it in, and there you go. Pretty basic and simple. Yeah, these days I do prefer like pistol type weapons these days for some reason. For the hammer, as I mentioned, you get the wire if you want to do so. You just need to connect it to. Now you can technically plug it in, and there you go. You have the hammer. Now I'm just gonna get rid of the really simple basic ones. We have the GN rifle. Once again, just plug it in, and there's another plugging section right over here, which attaches to the hole right over here. Now it's kind of not the exact same, not the exact fit size, but it works and gives a more firm connection than you think. And once again, another green sticker over there. Okay, now let's look at the bazooka. Now the bazooka requires you to do the annoying get rid of the handguard, reattach it to the handle, and then reattach the handguard to the hand system. You can see I'm getting annoyed by those systems, but once again, once you have it in position, it's no problem holding it or posing it with the bazooka as well. However, for some reason, I'm not sure it's just the design or something, but this thing likes to slide off to the side. And once again, you can pose it with two hands using this extra handle. Of course, be careful with not to break anything. And once again, this also requires or does use a green sticker for the targeting visor or camera, whatever, or scope. Okay, now we got rid of a little bit annoying ones, but we still have a few more. So there we go. As I mentioned, for this one, I'm just going to demonstrate one, but if you want to do so, you can use the handle, or they give you this extra peg, which actually connects to the side of the arm, so which also can be connected. So if you see the image of the manual, it does sort of tell you that it is possible to like equip every single weapon that this thing has on it. Of course, I wouldn't really recommend it because it's kind of really hard to make that happen. So here is the manual. Hopefully I can show you guys properly. You can see that it's able to hold everything on it. So you have to hold the shield and bazooka on the arm. You store the GN hammer and the GN rifle to the side armor. Pistols, obvious. You have the blaster and sword connected to the other arm. So it's possible. So for those who love to have their kits holding like every type of weapon or like have everything on it, that's your goal. Okay, so here is the shield. The shield is pretty simple, like the Exia. You just plug in to that top hole. Now, usually, like Universal Sentry kits, you would have something that could coming from the side of the arm, or you connect it to the back. This one, you connect it on top of the arm, and it's actually a very firm connection for some reason. Not that I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just surprised at how firm or how tight, strong the connection is. Okay, I'll do this one last because I got a question. Okay, now the way how the sword works, kind of tricky. Now you need 3 pieces. Number 1 is this one. I hope I got this on the right connection. You plug it on top of the arm, and then you get this piece. You connect it to the side of the arm, the outside of the arm, like this, like that. So it does So design wise, it looks very natural like that. And then finally, now, you know what? I'm gonna have to plug out the arm. Now, another issue I'm having with this kit is that the arms tend to like plug out a little bit too easily than I thought. Lastly, you just reconnect everything. You connect this top to the top hole and then the bottom hole, and there you go. Oh boy. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's just mine, but the arms feels the plug of the arm kind of feels a little bit loose. So I had some issues while this kind of like popped out a little bit easily on certain poses. But once again, with all those three gray pieces, we have the GN sword prototype onto the arm. Now I guess this is why it's called a prototype. But yeah, um, it's not the best connection, but once again, it doesn't really hinder that much. And with this stuff, you can actually still attach the missile launcher onto the arm if you want to do so, like that, and it would still work. And if you want to do so, you can actually technically connect the actual Exyos version if you want to do so. And the way how this thing works is pretty simple. Just flip it up, and there you go. This thing does not have like the Exyos where you can hold it. There's an extra handle pops out. I mean, I believe there is a handle here. Yeah, there is a handle like the Exyos, but not in this style of where you can hold the sword in like in a vertical stance. But yeah, and there you go. The arm popped out a little bit easily once again. But the question I mostly had is the GN launcher, because the way how you connect that is like I'm not sure how that works. Now kit wise, I mean it wouldn't make sense, but so yeah, if you're detaching the sword, it takes some time. But finally, this one, the way how this works is that you have this moving handle, which is fine. And then you have this point which can move up and down about 90-degree vertical angle, but no side-to-side movement. But since it's on a peg, you can twist it like that on a 360 angle. The way how they're supposed to do this is to plug out one of these fins, one fin, and then you attach this section to that place where it had the fin. You lock it up, and then this is how it works. Now, kit-wise, okay, that's how you connect it, but mobile suit wise, like how does he use this weapon in real life? Like, does he like what fling off the antenna and then just use it? Is that how that works? That's kind of like a question I have. But once again, once you have it in place, using the weapon is not a big deal. I mean, since this thing does have its own movements and the handle is movable, so yeah, and somehow it really looks natural as if it's really aiming for something. So yeah, that's the only question I have regarding that in terms of design. But yeah. Anyway, that was a long review. Sorry for the long review, but this kit had a lot of stuff to show, a lot of equipment, a lot of leftover parts, a lot of different aspects. But I would definitely recommend this not only to like Exia fans or Astraea fans or 00 fans, but those who love to buy kits to get extra parts or weapons. I would definitely recommend this, because with this, these kind of kits, it may have a lot of leftover parts and weapons, but also gives you like the motive to try out customizing or kit bashing on your own self. So I would definitely recommend this. Despite how old it is, it's still definitely a good value kit. Well, anyway, thank you for watching the long review. Hope you guys enjoyed the review and found the information helpful. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more kits to buy and build and make reviews out of, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.